Okay, so let's review this puzzle homework from the night before. I'm going to just start writing these equations on a separate sheet of paper, but this is the homework I'm looking at, okay? So let's take a look at number one. The equation was 3x plus 4y equals 12. So again, I want y to be alone, so I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. That will leave me with 4y equals, drop down the negative 3x, drop down the positive 12. I still need y alone, so I'm going to divide everything by 4. 4 divided by 4 leaves me with 1y, so I just write y. Negative 3/4 can't be simplified smaller, so it's negative 3/4 x plus 3. Number 2 is 2x plus 6y equals 18. I want to move the 2x by subtracting it to both sides. That way this will cancel out because it equals 0. I then drop down my 6y equals negative 2x positive 18. From here I need to get rid of the 6, so I will divide 6 all the way through. 6 divided by 6 is just y. Negative 2 6 can be simplified to negative 1/3 x. 18 divided by 6 is positive 3. Number 3 was 2x minus y equals 8. I will subtract 2x from both sides. 2x minus 2x cancels out, leaves me with negative y equals negative 2x plus 8, positive 8. I technically have a negative 1 here, so I will divide everything by a negative 1. Negative 1 divided by negative 1 leaves me with 1y. Negative 2 divided by a negative 1 makes a positive 2x. And 8 divided by negative 1 leaves me with a positive 8. No, negative. Sorry. Number 4. 6x plus 3y equals 6. I want to get rid of the 6x. That leaves me with 3y equals negative 6x plus 6. I then will divide everything by 3, so y is alone. 3 divided by 3 leaves me with 1y. Negative 6 divided by 3 leaves me with negative 2x. And 6 divided by 3 just leaves me with a positive 2. Number 5. 3x minus 2y equals 6. I will get rid of the 3x to both sides, leaving me with negative 2y equals negative 3x plus 6. I will then divide everything by that negative 2, leaving me with y equals negative and a negative makes this a positive 3/2 x, and 6 divided by negative 2 is negative 3. Number 6. Negative 4x plus y equals negative 1. I will bring over the 4x, negative 4x, by changing it to a positive 4x. Negative 4 plus 4 is 0, so that leaves me with y equals 4x minus 1. I am done because y is all alone. Number 7 was 4x plus 5y equals 20. I will subtract 4x from both sides. Leaves me with 5y equals negative 4x plus 20. I will then divide everything by 5, leaving me with y equals negative 4/5 x plus 4. Number 8. X minus y equals 1. I would subtract x from both sides. X minus x equals 0, so that leaves me with a negative y equaling negative x plus 1. There's no number here, so that means it's actually a negative 1. So I need to divide everything by negative 1. Negative 1 divided by negative 1 cancels out because it equals 1y. Negative and a negative makes a positive x. And 1 divided by negative 1 leaves me with negative 1. Number 9, x plus 6y equals 12. I will subtract x from both sides. Leaves me with 6y equals negative x plus 12. Divide everything by 6. So I'm left with y equals negative 1/6 x plus 2. Number 10. Oh, which, by the way, you should now have been identifying slope for all these. Sorry. So in number 1, your slope should have been negative 3/4. Number 2 would have been negative 1/3. 3 would have been 2. 4 would have been negative 2. 5 was 3/2. 6 is 4. 7 is negative 4/5. 8 would have been 1. And 9 would have been negative 1/6. Going to number 10. 4x plus y equals 8. I would subtract 4x from both sides. So I would have y equals negative 4x plus 8. For this one, you are trying to identify the y-intercept, so it would have been positive 8. Number 11 was 3x plus 2y equals 5. Subtract 3x from both sides. I'm left with 2y equals negative 3x plus 5. Divide everything by 2. Y equals negative 3/2. Can't simplify it any further. Plus 5/2. Don't want to simplify it. Y-intercept you can simplify actually, so let's go ahead and do that, because remember y-intercept is going to be the point you plot first on the y-axis, so 5/2 would become 2.5. So that would leave me with a y-intercept of positive 2.5. Number 12 is 3x minus 4y equals 12. I would subtract 3x from both sides, leaving me with negative 4y equals negative 3x plus 12. I can then divide everything by negative 4. Y would equal negative and a negative makes this a positive 3/4 x, and 12 divided by negative 4 is negative 3. So your y-intercept is negative 3. Number 13, x plus 6y equals 18. I would subtract x, leaving me with 6y equals negative x plus 18. Divide everything by 6. Y would equal negative 1/6 x plus 3. My intercept would be 3. 14. 2x plus 6y equals 2. Subtract 2x from both sides. 6y equals negative 2x plus 2. Divide everything by 6. Y would equal negative 1/3 x if I simplify, plus 1/3. Now in this case, I can't simplify this because I'll get a repeater, so we're leaving it as 1/3. Number 15. Oh, number 15 is already written in the slope-intercept form, so my y-intercept is just negative 12. The last one, 16, is 4x plus 9y equals 15. I would subtract 4x from both sides, leaving me with 9y equals negative 4x plus 15. Divide everything by 9. Y would equal negative 4/9 x plus, let's go ahead and simplify 15/9, which would leave me with 5/3. If I go ahead, if I go ahead and divide 5/3, I get a repeater, so I want to keep it. So we're just going to call this one y-intercept of 5/3. Make sure you regrade your corrections Monday, Wednesday, or Friday and turn them into the bin by Friday.